Yo, 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 this is Delta Tango Mike. It is February 24th of starting out 2020. And today, in today's Thriving Artist Art Life Short, I want to talk about learning to make friends. Yes, this is like a social step that every person makes when they're a small little child and they go off to school and they meet new people in every school you move to. And as you grow from elementary school to middle school to high school, etc., and you find ways to make friends, you meet new people, and build friendships. That's one part of learning to make friends. But as a creative, as a professional, as a someone on the path for a creative career, you have to learn to make friends with people at all levels, at all times. And some of those times are very difficult. There's always going to be a situation where you're unhappy with an outcome of a project, when you're unhappy with an outcome of a conversation. You'll get into conversation with people, and you think you have something set that is going to work out, and there's broken promises, some backtracking, different levels of success, and even ghosting. And so, as my example from my GA story on the 20th that I told you about, how I had started to set up a situation where I wanted to teach Photoshop and Illustrator at General Assembly. And then the person who I was talking to about this through the whole process, at the end of the day, they decided that they wanted to have someone else teach the class. And I don't know what the conversation was with that other person and how they set up the opportunity for the other person to teach the class. And then at the end of the day, it was not me who was going to be teaching the class. And so one thing that I say this to all the time to all the people who I work with, all the people who I set up deals and projects with, is I always say, well, we can always be friends. And that's like my go-to get out of the situation. That is my out that I give to people. Thank you, computer. That is kind of like my out that I give people a chance to use so that they can say no to me. Because I know that there's always other circumstances that are outside of the person's control, outside of what I can negotiate, that I don't want to walk away making the other person feel that they can't work with me again. And sometimes, that is the case. You're not going to be able to work with that person, not just for the outcome of the project that's outside their hands, but maybe because they are not the right people to work with. In this path, you're going to meet lots of people who do not perform, do not produce as they say they will. There's a lot of people who like to talk the big game, to like to talk about their accomplishments or things that they can be able to do for you, and then at the end of the day, they don't produce. So there are going to be situations where, yeah, of course, you don't want to work with this person. But I do make it a point from my point of view, from my standpoint, to make sure that I let this person know that, look, no hard feelings here. We're gonna work it out. After today, we'll move on to something else, and eventually a different opportunity will come around. And so, like with the General Assembly situation, at the end of that, of them making a deal with someone else to come and teach at the General Assembly Photoshop and Illustrator classes, they still call me right after that. And then I've been there teaching for 5 years. And that other person, I haven't seen them, haven't heard from them since. The other person who was supposed to teach, the person that was their choice to teach. It is that type of situation that demands of you to make peace with the situation, make peace with the outcome, and still be friends with that person. Now, it doesn't mean that they're friends like, they can come and crash at my house anytime they want, or friends like I'm just gonna share my lunch with them, or share my resources with somebody. Not that kind of friendship, not that family type of friendship, but a kind of opening that allows them to at least say hello to you every once in a while, at least to deal with each other civilly out in public, out in places that you're gonna meet and definitely come across each other, because that's the industry that we're in. You happen to be in the same industry as they are. They're creatives, they're artists, they're employers, they're clients, they're art connoisseurs. You're gonna see them again and again and again. And so what you want to do is set up this relationship, set up this outcome in a way that you're gonna be okay to see them out in public eventually. It's okay to run into them in public, at functions, at projects, at events. You're gonna walk into some business project, some creative project. You're gonna sit down, start working with people, and next thing you know, you see those people inside the same circle, inside the same project, maybe not directly working with them, but in some kind of capacity that you want to set it up. The last time you see them, the time that things did not work out, you want to set it up in a way where it's not awkward. All right, so we have to learn to make friends. I've been in the Atlanta arts community for over 20 years. There's been situations where things just don't work out. This is not a friendly situation, and we end that deal in a civil way where I will say, well, we can still be friends, man. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all right. And maybe we don't work again. Maybe we don't get involved in each other's projects, but we're going to come across each other. We're going to see each other. And that's the part that you have to be able to function. That's the part you're going to have to work on to be able to function. Do not let your emotions stop you from continuing your path. Do not let a particular situation keep you from finding other opportunities. Do not let one thing ruin a relationship with someone that later they decide, you know what, that is the best artist for this project. Let's call them back up again. And then you be ready to take on that project and say, cool, I'm down. Even though you didn't say to me yes the first time, even though you dragged me around for a few months, even though you gave the job to someone else, and that was super unexpected, and I was really putting in a lot of energy into this deal. It's okay, because now we have this opportunity for us to do right, for me to do the part that I wanted to do, and everything can roll on smoothly from here on out. All right, so that's all I got to say for you today. Hopefully you can take some of this and apply it into your creative life. I am Delta Tango Mike. Find me anywhere on the internet, Delta Tango Mike, that is DTM, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And check out some of the digital drawing tutorials and demos on Vector Maestros on YouTube, and more of these videos on YouTube under Art is King. I am getting so lost in some of the things that I talk about. I have to keep double checking my notes to make sure I don't repeat myself. All right, this is Delta Tango Mike. If you have some questions about the art life, please send them my way. Remember that if you don't make money with your art, then somebody else will. This is Start Now 2020, so this is the moment when you need to move on to the next actionable step that's going to get you closer to your dream in the creative field. All right, talk to you later. Peace.